Greetings from everyone's channel again. I hope that everyone has a day filled with the grace of Christ. We sincerely hope you enjoy this film and follow us on YouTube so you don't miss any updates. As you watch this movie through to the end, join in on the journey. In an unstable, divided, and more uncertain society, the Virgin Mary's message at Medjugorje stands out as a strong and urgent call for spiritual preparation and interior change. During her message, which comes at a time when fear and confusion are prevalent in the world, the Virgin calls on all of her children, both those who are close to and those who are far from faith, to return to God with restored hearts. Her message is very clear. We must set aside the distractions of everyday life and dedicate ourselves to a deep spiritual development. This divine call to conversion does not spare those who have already committed themselves to a life of faith. It reaches out and begs those who have strayed from God to return to the path of Christ. It emphasizes the urgency of getting back on the spiritual path and makes an appeal to everyone to do so. The faithful can find the strength to persevere by spiritually preparing for the difficult days ahead. The Virgin Mary's teachings stress that spiritual preparation is for the soul's fortification, not merely for possible physical hardships. Only those who have a solid foundation of faith will be able to overcome future challenges that will test both the body and the spirit. This preparation requires prayer, particularly the Rosary, which Mary offers as a powerful defense against the forces of evil. She emphasizes that the Rosary is more than just a litany of spoken prayers. It is a transformative spiritual tool that invokes divine protection and illuminates the path in the dark. Grace is given to everyone, not just the person praying with each Ave Maria uttered. When Mary urges us to prayer, she is not acting alone. She encourages Christians to pray not only for themselves, but also for the entire globe, since she thinks that prayer can transform the world. She asserts that the changing power of the Rosary can ease suffering, change the path of events, and offer peace in the midst of chaos. Despite the importance of prayer, the Virgin Mary advocates for a genuine spiritual conversion that begins in the heart. External acts of piety are insufficient for true conversion. It must originate from within and change the essence of a person's soul. Mary's message serves as a reminder that this inward adjustment is necessary to deal with the challenges that lie ahead, both the material and spiritual hardships that will test the globe. In her revelations, Mary predicts catastrophic disasters that will impact many nations, including Mexico, Colombia, Spain, and Venezuela. These countries' citizens will be tested not just in their physical endurance, but also, and possibly more significantly, in their religious beliefs. Natural disasters and internal strife are inevitable, but Mary emphasizes that the real battle is spiritual. In addition to these physical tribulations, the world will undergo a global spiritual crisis that necessitates a broad religious awakening. She claimed that this disaster will deceive a lot of people and put society's moral underpinning to the test. The faithful are cautioned that only by trusting in Christ will they be able to overcome the difficulties that lie ahead. The need of maintaining faith in Christ as the one source of true protection and strength is emphasized by the Virgin Mary. In a society when rage, division, and indifference seem to be taking over more and more, Mary encourages believers to be change agents of love and peace. Through acts of solidarity, love, and compassion, the faithful can spread the light of Christ in a world where darkness reigns. Images of flaming skies in Mary's prophecies portend a period of intense gloom. These are not merely ominous warnings. They are a call to spiritual consciousness. Despite the severity of these visions, Mary urges the faithful to resist allowing chaos or fear to overcome them. Instead, she encourages them to maintain their faith. knowing that God's protection is always accessible to those who ask for it. Mary emphasizes how important Saint Michael the Archangel is to this spiritual struggle. As the leader of the heavenly hosts, he is tasked with defending the righteous from the forces of evil. Saint Michael's protection is not merely a ceremonial act. It is an encouragement for believers to actively seek out his intercession in their spiritual lives. Mary highlights that the fight, which includes the emergence of the Antichrist, widespread apostasy, and the denial of divine truth, is both profoundly spiritual and material. In this age of moral relativism, when truth itself seems to be in question, Mary urges vigilance. The faithful must remain steadfast in their devotion to God despite the efforts of the forces of evil to deceive and seduce them. Prayer, particularly the Rosary Prayer, will be the best defense against these temptations and deceptions. Despite the gravity of her warnings, Mary's message remains upbeat. She reassures the faithful that God will never abandon his people, even in the most dire situations. Those who commit themselves to Jesus' Sacred Heart and her Immaculate Heart will be protected. Mary tells us that no matter how strong the forces of evil seem, the light of faith will always prevail. The gloomy period that is coming is not the end, she explains. Rather, it offers an opportunity for spiritual renewal and cleansing. Mary urges her children to view these adversities as a chance to deepen their faith, purify their souls, and partake in God's ultimate victory against evil. One of the main points of Mary's message is the admonition to pray in harmony. The Rosary is one of the most powerful spiritual tools available to believers. Mary encourages everyone to recite the Rosary daily, claiming that doing so strengthens one's personal faith and bestows heavenly favor on everyone. She emphasizes how the power of the Rosary may transform even the most dire circumstances and serve as a global protection against spiritual dangers. Christians are encouraged to pray together, united in their faith, in order to face the problems that lay ahead as a community. Mary assures us that this ordinary prayer contains the strength to overcome even the most terrible problems. Mary's message is more than just an internal transformation. Additionally, she encourages Christians to take practical action. In an era of hatred, division, and indifference, the faithful are called to be beacons of love and compassion. It is not enough to only declare one's religion. One must show it by acting with kindness, charity, and compassion. In times of adversity, these affectionate actions become even more meaningful. Mary encourages Christians to be compassionate and helpful to those in need, offering them both material and spiritual support. By doing this, they become living manifestations of God's love in the world and offer hope and light to those in need. The Virgin Mary in Medjugorje is issuing both a warning and a promise. It is an appeal for profound self-reflection, spiritual preparedness, and unwavering faith in the face of enormous hardship. Despite the uncertainty of the future, Mary's message reminds us that we are not alone. Praying, particularly the Rosary, and firmly committing to our religious practice can give us the strength to face the challenges that lie ahead. Mary assures us that the forces of evil will not have the final say. The winner is God, and the winners are those who trust in Him. In order to endure the approaching darkness and emerge from it stronger, committed to God's love and truth, it is time to renew our faith, purify our souls, and unite in prayer. Thank you for taking part in this journey. Your presence and involvement lend importance and impact to our inquiry. Until then, may you find hope and inspiration in the common stories of our human experience.